Hello, friends, and welcome back to Restore You. It is Angela, and I am here with the first open collaboration that I am hosting, and I'm calling it Sewing Notion Sunday. So here's what inspired me. I have, as you know, I keep my projects in a clear, it's like 12 by 11 snap folder. And I had been collecting kind of some ideas and putting together projects for these sewing notions that I keep finding, whether they be, and when I say sewing notions, this can be anything from snaps and buttons and ribbons and laces and trims, all the way to patterns and, even fabric, because it's just pretty much all sewing related. And I have a lot of it, a lot that is just in a tote, not getting used as it could be. So I started going through about probably last year and coming up with some ideas, testing them out. And I ended up with probably, at least 15 different things that I thought, I need to try these. So I decided, I can't be the only one that has a bunch of sewing notions or sewing related items in their stash that probably could, benefit by pulling some out and being inspired and trying their hand at some kind of projects, or maybe just following along with some of the projects that I'm doing. So what it means with an open collaboration is essentially, I'll put this over here. Anyone can participate, and you just use in your description and or in your title, hashtag Sewing Notion Sunday. You can post anytime, any day during the week. I'm just going to post mine on Sunday because it sounded good, Sewing Notion Sunday, but any day is fine. And if you would like me to give you shout outs and to recognize your channels, your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever social media you are on, and post your work, then please make sure to either send me an Etsy message at To Restore You, which is the best way because I know it won't go to spam. But if you choose to send it via email, you can send it to restorationharmony1@gmail.com, and just be sure to put in the title the hashtag Sewing Notion Sunday, and that way I will be sure to see it, and I can search my spam that way too, just in case. So all you do is say, hey, I want to participate, and you grab out your sewing notions and you start creating, or you follow along with me and post your videos and or photos, wherever that may be, and have just a little bit of fun. So these are some of the things in each one of my projects. Well, there's a couple that are too big to fit in these, but I put in little containers. And I'm like, okay, this is what I want to make. Well, when I went through them just about a week ago, I thought, I didn't write what I was going to use, what I was going to make out of this. So I spent probably 3 hours going through each little package of these and going, okay, I got this in there and this in there, and what was I going to make? And I think I figured it out for the most part. So that's just a little bit about the open collaboration. I hope you follow along. I have chosen some fine young ladies, if you're so inclined. Not required, but I will tag each of them because I know I follow them, and they too follow me, and I know that they do a lot of projects like this. So if you see you're mentioned in this, it's because I just think that we would all have fun together. But here is what we're going to do. This was my first project, my first prototype. I have made these before with the tassel. I have not made these using thimbles. I don't really use thimbles, so I thought I might as well do something with them. So I'm going to show you how to make these today. I'm just going to see how this goes and how long it takes us. And then if we have time, I'll show you how I make these. If not, I will do those on another video, but just so you have a little idea of what's to come. Before I zoom in, I want to show you some of the things that you're going to need. So you will need some kind of beads, and this, in an upcoming Thrifty Thursday, I share this, and this was a necklace, and I pulled it all apart, but I like some of these beads, and I think I've used some, and I think we can use some in here too. So you'll need some beads. I have some bulb pins, and I do have, because I made dangles, but I do have jump rings as well. So I have those handy. I also grabbed some buttons. These I got at Hobby Lobby recently. Oh, and a screw. So I'm going to use some of those. Now remember, anything that I show you, you don't have, there's some things you have to have, but use what you've got and, you know, be innovative. And then I'm going to bring everything else over here. And I got a piece of cardstock that's black because I think it will be easier for you to see. So these are the tools that I use when I'm working with wires, beads, that kind of thing. So I did grab, and I ordered round nose, needle nose pliers, and they're not here yet. So I just have to use what I got. They've seen their better days. And then some snips, some tin snips. I do have some wire. This particular piece is 20 gauge wire. And what I found with this when I started using it, I had to order some more because I was making long dangles. I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a plastic coating on this. So we might have to work around that. On the other ones that I've done, I had to like pull it apart. It was weird. It's just weird stuff. See that? It just comes off. So I have a piece of wire. This one's about 12 inches. I will not need this much, but I just wanted to be safe. I do have my awl and some scissors. I did choose to use E6000 for this. I have not tried any other glue with this project, so I do know this one works. A thimble, and then I have grabbed some chain, not required, but this is what I'm going to show you to use. This is from an old necklace. And then I have a bunch of my dangles. This is from one of those pieces from that old necklace, and I just grabbed some dangles that I've made that we may or may not use. And let's see, where can I put those? I'm going to put those back here for now. And then I also grabbed just a bunch of little charms that I thought would be fun. My thought is I'm going to use this ribbon, this pink ribbon, in the fairy journal, possibly. But the spine isn't very big, so it might just be, I don't know. Maybe I'll just put them in my Etsy shop. I don't know. So there you have it. I've got some of those. And then, of course, you're going to need some ribbon. And I went ahead and did this in advance because this takes me a little while, but I just perused through everything I have and gathered a bunch of ribbons. I've loosely tied this together for the moment just so it stays together. But here is what I want you guys, we'll look at the details of this. So on this one, I've used a jump ring. I did this, I could have used a bulb pin. If I don't keep this and I sell this, I wanted to have this on here so someone could do whatever they wanted with it. And I would also include a bulb pin as well, just so it can be attached in a various way. So then I just used some rondelles, some beads, and then this is the thimble. I also popped a couple holes in the side with my crocodile. So you could do this. I don't know that I really loved how it turned out. It punches easier than easy. But you don't have to. I did punch this one in advance and put some small jump rings on it, just so I didn't have to fiddle with that on this video. And I left this one so you could see how easy it was. And then I added just a bulb pin. This has a little key on it. Let's see. I thought I must have only done one on that one. And then I just used some of my dangles, and I just put them on as bulb pins because, again, if somebody else wants this, they might want to take it off and use it for something else. This is just some cherubs that I just pinned on there. You could glue these on. I mean, there's a million different ways. I wanted it to be versatile so that someone could use these in another way. And in the middle, oh, here's one more, I guess. That one has a little fairy charm on she's backwards, and then in the middle, I used the chain. And this was not really good chain to use because it's really tiny. So getting anything except for a bulb pin in there was really difficult. But I just put a key and one little fairy charm in the middle of that. So there we have it. And that is what we're going to make. So I'm going to put that aside. And the first thing you're going to want to do is get all your ribbons together. Take any ribbon of your choice and just, you know, lay these ribbons on top of it. I did wrap this around a couple of times. Let's see. I wonder, let me just, we'll see how this goes if I need to zoom you in and out. And then I just double knotted it once, making sure that all of my ribbons were on either side, because I have made these before, and then I had one ribbon that was supposed to be over here that was over there, and then I just leave this just like it is and let that kind of dangle. Okay, that's it. Now we have our, and I can go back and, like, well, I might as well just do it now and just trim up here and there where I might trim it even more, but for now we'll just leave it like that. So we've got that. We're going to set this aside and we're going to work on our thimble. So I used, when I did this, I had like it's supposed to be a handheld drill. I don't know how it's supposed to work, but I got it somewhere and it doesn't work. I left it for Landon to investigate how exactly, because I'm like, are you supposed to, there's no battery, the AAA batteries don't fit, I don't know, but I just used that and just pushed really hard and popped a hole in it. The awl works just as well. So anything that's, you know, that you can just puncture it. This is really soft. So and then, like I said, to add these, I just used my crocodile and just put it right there and punched the hole. And then I added the jump rings. This one didn't go on very well. Just so I don't have to do it later. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set this here. Excuse me. And then we are going to, oh my goodness, I need a drink. Hang on. I got just a little tickle. I don't want, see how that's coming up? It's almost fascinating to me, honestly. I'm just taking those off the end just so I make sure that when I make my circle, essentially what I'm doing next is I'm making a loop that I can then attach this chain to that will go up through the middle of and around this ribbon and then up through the middle of that and catch some of those things so they don't fall off. Hang on. Apparently my muscles are not, I can't, it's really hard to see. We'll see how we do there. Okay, so you've seen me do this when I've made my dangles before. Mine will not, let's see if I need to. Mine will probably not be very round because, like I said, I do not have a round needle nose pliers. And I just adjust that. I bring this all the way around here. I kind of move my needle a little bit and I just wrap a few times around there. And on this one, I did it several times because no one's going to see it. And I wanted to make sure it was really, whoa, really tight. Okay. Just getting really close to, as close as I can to that, pop that apart. And then I just always give it a good little squeeze just to make sure. I mean, again, it's not going to matter because this is, and you see my circle is not very good because it's flat on one side because I don't have a round nose pliers, but I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Okay, so now I need to attach some chain, and I think this one will be good. I'm almost tempted to leave both of these on here because I had a lot of dangles and charms, and maybe just clip this whole lobster claw. Hang on if I can get it undone. Let's just clip this entire lobster claw right here. Just like that. And then we'll do a little, this one will dangle a lot lower. And I like that that's got the little bead on there. So let's just get a jump ring and add it right here. And now we've got 2 chains that we can add little items to. So I'm just going to open this. This one looks like it's kind of open. These are really sturdy jump rings. Maybe I'll even do it like, I don't know. I'll do it towards the top. Let me get my little flanges up here. There we go. And I'm just going to put that. See if I can get it through that small jump ring. I'm going to, do I want to do that? I think I'll do it through this one. It's a little more sturdy. Okay, now everything is together right here. I'm just going to, like I said, this one's a really strong jump ring. Give it a little squeeze for good measure. Okay, now we're ready. So essentially what we are going to do is we're going to get this. I'm going to zoom you out again so you can kind of see. I'm going to get this. I think my ribbons are pretty much where I want them. So see how that looks? That's going to go in the middle. And I mean, it will all be covered up when we're done. This is no different than making any of your other tassels. We're just putting this through something else, and that in this case being a thimble. So if I feel like that looks pretty good, and I think it does, I'm just going to wrap this around, and I'm gonna try this. I didn't do this on the last one, but I'm gonna put it through that little loop that I made just for a little extra, if I can get my finger out of the way. See where I did that? I just put it through that little hole just for a little extra reassurance. Oh, come on. This is cheesecloth, and it has a mind of its own. And I just kind of use my finger to hold that wire in place so I know that it's going to be at the bottom. That's the most difficult thing, is to make sure you keep it like that. Okay, so I pulled it around once. I'm going to do that one more time. Actually, I'll do it 2 more times. I'm not going to worry about getting it through that hole because it's through there once. One more time here. And voila. And I am kind of making sure it kind of tucks underneath there. It's done. All right. So I give it a good tug. And remember, none of this is going to be seen. Now I want to look at my last one because I think I added everything after I put, yeah, I did. Actually, no, I didn't. On the first time, I did all of my stuff on the chain, and then I was fiddling with it, and then it got kind of tangled. So we're going to work on the top first. So we'll put this here so you can, let's see, let's put it somewhere nearby. And what I am going to do is put a small, just a really small bead of some sort. These are too big. Oh, wait, here's a little pearl. Just to kind of hug that underneath this. So I popped my hole in there. I've stuck a little bead on there. You can certainly put a little E6000 on here. For this demonstration, I'm not going to do that. And then you just, let me make sure this is going straight up in there. Actually, I think I will put some E6000 in there. But I want to make sure I have some time. All right, where's my glue? This is, by the way, in full disclosure, this glue is horrible. I don't know if I've had it just forever. No, I don't mean the product is horrible. my particular glue is horrible. And I can't get it out of the nozzle. So I just use it right out of here and put it, this is just a T-pin. So I just put a little bit, oh crud chunks. Let me see if I can show you. I am putting a little on the wire itself, and I'm just kind of, I'm not really doing anything except for smushing that around just a bit and hope that those, because I didn't do that last time, that they don't get stuck in there. And this just, it's a little fiddly, I know. So there's my, I'm just kind of pulling it nice and tight, making sure it's in there, and it is. Now it looks good. Now these short ones, I probably won't want. Those are the ones that we tied everything off on. So I might cut those off in a minute. But now I'm holding this kind of tight just to keep it in place. And now we need to decide what we're going to put on the top. So let me just lay that down for a second. I'm thinking we need some, I don't have a ton of rondelles. It is pink. Let's see what we got here. Do we need to get closer? So these are the same ones I use. They're like diamondy, which I do really like. I'm just grabbing out a couple. I love these, but they're way too tiny. They're the rose gold, which would look, well, let's just put a couple out here because we might use them. But let's get, I don't think we'll use that one. Let's get another one of these bigger ones. You can tell how much different they are in size. Hopefully I have another one of these. Oh, what's this cute little thing? Now that one's bigger than this, but smaller than that. This one must be the same. Okay, one more of those big ones. I really want one more. So I've been making a lot of dangles and such, and I'm running low on the large ones, and I ordered, gosh, I ordered them a long time ago. I'm struggling over here to find one. Oh, do I have something else? Well, let's just see how that goes, because we can always use like a bead cap if we want. And now we need to determine what, so we could put, we'll just kind of play around with this, and we'll put this on. And I will be gluing these with these 6000, but I'm not going to do that until we get everything on there and know where we want it. I really like this. It's kind of like the pave, but I bet it may have a, oh no, that looks pretty cute. And I did like these too. What if we tried one of these smaller ones to see how it fits? And this is just kind of trial and error. And this one then might be too big because it's kind of an ovally flat bead. I mean, look at that. See, there's more of that coming off. Oh, I don't mind that. What if we put one of these? Let's try one of these rose gold ones just at the top, and then kind of cap it off with just a tiny little bead. Does that look too... I kind of like how dainty that looks, and it just keeps getting smaller. Let me just get a small bead to put on the top. And the other thing that I did with these, if you noticed, is I used both gold and silver. And I do that a lot in my dangles. I just like it. I like it a lot. I like the... I think that's big enough. What do you think? You like it? So easy so far, right? We're going for it. We're going for it. Let me put those back where they belong. Okay, now before I actually make my top loop, I'm going to try to grab this. I am going to get my, look at how this glue is just like, it's a mess. And I just kind of hold this away. I'm going to put a significant amount, if I can get this. It almost seems like it's around that rondelle. And then I will just, hold on. I think I need more. This is just, it's time for me to go to Hobby Lobby and get some more. The thing I don't want is for all of this to smush out, which I can always get it off with my fingernail, but, and then I'm just going to take a little bit and rub it right on there. And then I do want a lot inside of that rondelle in here, because I want that pave stone to fit right in there. I'm going to do the same. Let's just move that a little bit so it doesn't move. Let me get some more glue. So let's see. Dave is out and about, running his errands. And Ruby and Zenny, the girls and I are hanging out. I'm going to stick a little right down into that hole of that one. And I thought, well, I need to get this video done. And I have two kind of big projects. I have everything from my, that's not enough. Everything from my 177-mile yard sale that needs to be edited. And I'm so frustrated. So I used a GoPro, which was fun. It was the first time I actually used one. And, you know, the whole process of that was interesting. And it has a micro SD card. That's also fine. That is great, except I don't know how people do that without losing them all the time because they're so itty bitty. And I had like an adapter that went into my laptop, and then I could put any kind of SD card in there. Well, I cannot find it. Landon said he used it last, and then he said, but don't blame that on me. I'm like, I'm not blaming it on you. I just cannot find it. And I've looked everywhere. Like, I even had him search his room. That looks super cute. And so I can't really do any editing until I find something that I can put that SD card in. So I have a few videos from my phone when I didn't necessarily have the cam on. But other than that, it's all on that card. And I want to do a reveal of everything, but I feel like I need to see what Jeannie, with my best friend, she and I went on that adventure together. I want to see what kind of footage I got before I do that, just in case I need to explain things. So, I don't know. I don't want to buy another reader. I just might ask, like, a neighbor or somebody in the fam if they have one, but okay, now see, that got a little bit, do you see how it got a little bit crooked? Because I made that, now it's okay. And, you know, we just got to let that dry. Sticking that up in there a little bit more. Now mine, I kind of lay it up against something and let it dry for a very long time. But since we're on here doing it as we go, that's probably not going to cut it. So, what did I want to do next? Oh, I wanted to put a jump ring on there. And I don't think, do I have a gold one that's big enough? Nah, we'll just use a silver one because I know these are really, really sturdy. Now, you could use buttons in place of beads. You just need anything, you know, that's going to keep that wire kind of intact and in place. So, I did have some other wire that was, I think it was 24 gauge, and it's too thin. So if you can get 20 gauge wire, 18 gauge wire would probably work as well. But what happens is it's a little bit, it starts to get a little bit harder to work with. So now if I wanted, I could dangle this little bee off of here, you know, but we'll see how it looks when we get done. Okay, let me move my glue aside because I don't think we need that for anything else. Now, one thing that I could also do is take some of these beads and sew them on just, you know, here and there. So we're going to just kind of spread this out. And then we're going to just start adding our goodies. Now, I'm not going to show you how to make dangles today because I've done that before. And I know if you've watched me, you've probably seen that video. But we are going to add some on here and see what it looks like when it's all finished. Okay, I'm just separating this all out. This little chiffon-y, I don't even know what this is called. It's getting a little... You know what? Here's what we're going to do. I have 2 big paper clips just to keep this stuff out of the way. I want you to be able to see. That helps. Make sure this isn't getting crooked from me moving it around. That's better. I really like how that is. Okay, so here's what we have to add. This one would be, that would be kind of cool in the middle and just have it dangle out down. I could take this part off. Let's put a couple things on there. Let's put a charm. I think we should put a bigger one on there. I might put it right there. Because this is an angel and it kind of hangs down quite a ways. Ugh. See, like I said, these are really... Or should I put that there? At this point, it's just a matter of whatever you feel like doing. That looks cute. I want this to be straight. I'll rethink using that pink little chiffon-y stuff. Because I did tear... Oh my goodness. See, that's it's sticking to it. Okay. Stop. This is where it becomes a little bit difficult when I do this far away. Because I can't see. I may have done this a little too wide. Or this is just a bad one. There we go. Almost there. I'm like squat. Oh, for goodness sakes. I'm just going to pull it up here so I can see. Come on. I just don't like that that's... There we go. Whew. Exhausting. Now let's just see how that falls. I'm thinking that the two dangles is, well, maybe not. We'll just leave it. We'll do this one, this great big one, this lobster claw one, on the bottom of this short one. And I think I'll take a couple links off. Okay. Where's my clippers? Oh, that went. Okay. And let's see. So we have that one. We need a couple on here. So I'm thinking, where are the rest of my... Let's do a little... I think I'm going to save this one for the top. And possibly... Well, that one's a big one. Let's put this one on here. So I'm thinking we want... Well, let's do it at the bottom again. Close to the bottom. I might clip some of those off again. I want to see what it looks like when I hold it up. Then we can adjust. And then let's do this little star. Here we go again. And I apologize if I'm out of camera. It's only because I can't see. I'm kind of weird with odd numbers, so I probably will feel like I need to have one more. There we go. Okay, let's take this apart, put these aside for a second, and just see what this looks like. Because right now, to you guys, it probably looks like a hot mess. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Look how pretty that looks. I think the 3 is okay. Or, well, it's got 4. So let's think about, I got to cut this off. Let's think about what we might, want dangling off of here. Did I do 2 on this one? Probably glued it together. I did. Okay, well, we'll work through that. I wanted it to dangle so it didn't. I like this bee. Maybe the bee should go on this short side since it's... These are really cool. I'm not sure where I got it. I think, if I had to guess, I got them at maybe Michael's. But they're cool because they already have that thing. It's like a little clasp. And then let's see, what could we do here? What if we put, just to get some gold in it, and it's longer. Let's do that one. So as you see, I mean, obviously you can put anything. You can put charms, you can put buttons, you can put, you know, I just used what I had. I had the dangles. So, oh my goodness, that is beautiful. I love it. Now we need some things, I think, here and there. And again, I'm just going to pin these on because whoever the recipient is may want to take them off and use them. They might not want the tassel. They might want to use all the elements. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to zoom out. Oh, yeah. I know it's hard for you to see, but here, let me just lay it down. That looks really cute. Okay, so now I think we need to add some more in here. So let me get another, I'm going to get another bulb pin instead of using the clasp. Now you could, you know, you could clip the help me out here, a round thingy, a jump ring, right into, you know, some of these ribbons. I'm going lower on this one. I like the fact that they're really dangling off there. You guys, this is all there is to it. Okay, we need one more. I think we're going to go right here. I'm going to do another bulb pin. And I think in this one right here, perhaps. And, you know, just for the fun of it, just because I've got them sitting here. Ooh. You know, bulb pins, they make these for clothing tags, right? Sometimes they don't necessarily go through. Cute. Some of my stuff. Why don't we just try putting a couple buttons on here? I don't know, maybe it'll look cute. Gosh, I know. I really kind of want to sew them on. We could also just, well, let's just try it. Never done this, but we'll just tack it on with a little Fabri-Tac. I'll have to, of course, wait for it to dry. But why not? Okay, I'm going to put this, I'm going to flip this over because when it, there we go. That one's cute. What else do we have here? I think that'd be okay on that one. We won't know if we don't try. And again, these were from Hobby Lobby. I think it's the one thing I bought that day that was not on sale. And then what I can do, I'll glue these on, and then I'll come back with some off camera and with some pink or gold embroidery floss, and then I want one more. Let's see where they have this one. This one's there. How about right here? Oh, that's pretty. And then I can just pop a little embroidery floss through and it kind of knot it, and it will kind of finish it off. Okay, and that, my friends, is how easy these are to make. I mean, how simple can you get? And, you know, if you're like me, if you don't have thimbles, did I call these bobbins? I'm thinking I might have. You can't take me anywhere. Thimbles lying around. You know, that you can oftentimes find them on sale. If you go to thrift shops, if you get like a bundle of, you know, Sewing Notion goodies, you can find them in there. But just, you know, I encourage you, I'm going to kind of leave this, I will hold it up, but then I'm going to move it aside, to just experiment. And I know this isn't as easy to see how pretty it is, but look how shabby chic. Now let's get out, honey. You seem to be up to no good. You need to go lay down. Go lay down. Let's just see what it would look like. I'm going to move this black piece out of the way. You are being very good today, though, Ruby. So this is on here. And then I have another Sewing Notion project. Oh my goodness, that's cute. Yeah. That's going to be it. I have another Sewing Notion project, which I could use some blues and do something kind of fun with it there too. Awesome. So there you have it, my friends. A little thimble dangle. And I promise you that next we will do, we will work on our spools, and I will show you how I made this. But until next time, friends, thank you for joining me. I hope that you hop on and try your hand at some of my projects and or create your own so I can try them, and using the hashtag Sewing Notion Sunday. And until next time, friends, Have a great day. And remember to take time to just be. Cheers.